not going to kid you. And for me, high school was very, very hard. I did not do well, so please, kids, don't take my example. I did very poorly in my classes. But when I got to college, though, I started doing things right. And according to my friends, the thing that I did right can be summed up in one word: fear. My story revolves around this concept of fear. We're going to look at two different ways that I overcame this fear, and two different events that really sum up those ways. In the first event, we're going to talk about what I did when I got to college. In the second event, we're going to talk about how I met Ross. So let's first look at the first event. Before going to college, I was really, really scared. My plan was to slip under the radar, talk to as few people as possible, and hopefully graduate as quickly as possible and just get it over. But I also knew that that would make for a really bad college experience. I did not want my college experience to be like high school. So at the beginning of college, I made a decision to join this club called Sundial. Sundial is this physics club that just started up this year, in which undergraduate gets paired off with a grad student mentor. And I realized that this is really what I need. So I got paired off with this guy in astrophysics, and we started meeting every week. And he encouraged me to start doing as many things in Sundial as possible, and I did. And I started planning events. I got really excited, and eventually, I didn't even remember that I was afraid to do those things. I was just so busy, I did not have time for fear. Eventually, it got to the point where my mentor was saying, "Brianna, you're doing too many things." And I told him, "I like doing these things. You can't do too many things when you like what you're doing." Which leads us to the second bit, how I met Ross. It was 2 years ago. I was a junior in high school, and I had just started getting into physics. Beforehand, I hated math and science. I was maybe planning to go to college, maybe be a novelist. But then I got into this class of electricity and magnetism, and something about moving charge just made my brain click. And I went from being the bottom of my class to being the top of my class in physics. And I was so excited, but I was also still so scared. I did not want people to know that I didn't know things. And I'm not at the open door that year. My parents literally had to ditch me at the door to get me to go to this presentation. And since I had nothing better to do, I listened to Ross's talk. And I was so scared and so confused because I didn't understand, and I didn't realize that it was okay to not understand something. So I had to weigh two things: my fear of embarrassment and my desire to know. And by the end of Ross's presentation, my desire to know things won out over my fear of embarrassment. And after everyone left the room, I went down and I really shyly asked him, "Sir, what's a quark?" And he spent the next hour explaining all this stuff about particle physics to me. Fast forward about 18 months, and I'm deep into Sundial. I have so many amazing friends, and I'm at this event that I had planned. It was some game night thing. I'm sitting at a table, and some guy walks up to me, and he goes, "Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Who is this guy? Oh, what is this deal? I do not know you." And I got to think, and finally it clicked, and I realized this is that grad student who talked to me about particle stuff. And Ross suddenly goes, "Do you want to work with me in my lab?" And I'm like, yes, and actually do the things you want. Ask questions, just live your life. And you will be so happy and so many amazing, great things will come. So that is my spiel, and I hope